Hello everybody, it's Dr Clare here from Dr Clare's Apothecary, and it's midwinter, so it's a good time to talk about immune boosting and how we can stay well and deal with anything that the weather and everybody being in offices and families close together can throw at us. So where to start? I think I'll start with the tea bags. And these are a 14-day boost tea bag pack, and there's 14 sachets in here, which is the equivalent of 42 tea bags. And the dosage, if you have a cough or a cold, and the whole idea behind this is the minute you get a sniffle, the minute you go, uh-oh, that's when you start taking herbs for immune health, because what you want to do is you want to head it off at the pass. You don't want to wait until you get into Wild West territory when you're fighting every symptom in the book. You want to get in there before the viruses have started to multiply and really cause havoc. So early intervention, can't emphasize that. They're good at any time, but early intervention makes the best idea. And this is the 3 teaspoon tea sachet. And what you do is you put it in your teapot, into your travel mug, any kind of traveling receptacle, and you put the lid on it so that you keep in all the volatile oils. That's actually quite important. If you're at home, just put a saucer on it or put the lid on your teapot. So what's in the immune tea is elderflowers and elderberries. I developed a lot of respect for the elderberries when I was getting a cold when I was away from home, and the only thing I could find locally was elderberries. And my golly, it really did the work. Both elderberries and elderflowers are good for mucous membrane tone and nourishment, and they also have antiviral effects, which are very well documented. So both the flowers and the berries are in there. There's also peppermint, which is good for sweating out any kind of heat from the body. And it's also antispasmodic, and also joined by yarrow, which again helps with sweating and helps support all of the immunity and mucous membranes. It tightens up the mucous membranes, and so prevents the full display of cold symptoms, or treats them if they're there. And I hope you find that useful, and it's very useful to have in the house. Don't wait until you get the cold and think, oh, we'll send off for it or we'll call into Dr. Clare's Apothecary. This is most useful to have in the house, ready to go. Okay. So for some people, they get a tell with sneezing. For some people, they get a tickle in their soft palate. That's how I know I'm getting a cold. And for some people, they get just general shivers or a coldness in their bones, and that's the right time to start. If you're somebody who predominantly gets sore throats, this is the one for you, or if it's part of the whole overall picture. And this is a spray bottle. We've changed to glass bottles for those of you who have used it before. It does make it considerably more expensive, which we're very sorry about. Between that and adding, I think it was 13% of VAT from the Irish government, after the new year, we've been well stung, but it's that's something outside of our control. The throat coat spray you can get a refill bottle. It's the bottle itself which is quite expensive. We haven't added anything more than that. So you can get a refill bottle of 100 mils, which will do 2 or 3 refills. So it's much easier to use as well, which we're quite happy about. Yeah, you need to do a couple of sprays to start it off. And then it goes very nicely. Okay. So the other one we have to talk about is the imitone. If you do go on to develop a chest infection, which I sincerely hope you won't, then I've talked about the mucotone in another little video. So what I'll talk about is the imitone. And this is very useful if you know that you're so stressed, you're going to come down with something, if you're recovering from something, if you're going on a long haul flight, or any other, all your kids are coming home coughing and sneezing all over you, you're a teacher and the whole class is sneezing and coughing, then this is the one for you. And it contains Icelandic moss. lavender, echinacea, Siberian ginseng, cat's claw, and chamomile and ginger. So the ginger will warm you up. Calming herbs are the chamomile and the lavender. So most of us get stressed because we get low immunity, either because we've got an absolute drenching in the freezing cold and weren't able to warm up. That's one reason. But for most of the time, it's because we're overstressed and not enough sleep. So let me emphasize sleep. So the chamomile and lavender will help with the sleep and the resilience from being calm. Icelandic moss is a very good restorer for mucous membrane function. Siberian ginseng is an adaptogen, and it's an adaptogen that's particularly useful for the chronic repeat performance, having to get so many things, multitasking, and getting so many things achieved within the one day or the 1 week, but usually over a period of time. And the cat's claw is antiviral and specifically antimicrobial and good for protecting the immune system from invaders. So I think that covers all of them. As a blend, you may have noticed that we do have behind Tara there's a whole range of individual tinctures. But in the same way that you wouldn't make a soup from just carrots, what we do is we always use blends of herbs, or pretty much always use blends of herbs for protecting and treating and looking after ourselves for nourishment and support. So that's the reason for having the blends. So yeah, back to basics, sleep and good food and using the herbs in a timely fashion. And I hope this is helpful.